Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 158. Say less. Overexplaining was stealing my peace. I got a lot to say in this episode about saying less. What if one of the greatest acts of healing is learning to stop over-explaining yourself? Because not every accusation deserves a defense, and not every misunderstanding requires correction. Not every room deserves access to your inner world. There comes a point in the healing journey when I realized that my peace is more valuable than being understood by people who are committed to misunderstanding me. And I found out that the key isn't speaking louder. The key is saying less. For wounded healers and empaths and truth speakers and black sheep, many of us over-explain from a place of survival. It's a survival skill. We've had to learn to justify our feelings and defend our intentions and soften our truths and explain ourselves repeatedly just to avoid conflict, rejection, and abandonment. But healing changed all that. Healing teaches discernment, boundaries, and restraint. Say less doesn't mean silence yourself. It means stop pouring energy into people who already decided not to hear you. It means stop giving emotional access to those who misuse it. And it means stop explaining your worth to people who are determined to diminish it. There's a threshold that you do cross, spiritually and emotionally, when you realize that you don't owe everyone your story, your reasoning, or your energy. Some people ask questions not to understand you, but to gather information. Some people provoke reactions just to study your wounds and achieve a silent sense of pleasure from your suffering. Some people want explanations about your life because your confidence unsettles them. And sometimes the strongest response is calm silence, not avoidance, not suppression, answering in silence with wisdom. There's a difference between being silent and suppression. Suppression says my voice doesn't matter. Wisdom says not everyone deserves access to my voice. There's a difference. My healing has not been about becoming voiceless, but instead it's been about becoming intentional. I began choosing who gets access to my vulnerability, who gets access to my energy, and who gets access to my inner sanctum. See the episode I did recently all about my inner sanctum. But all these things, my vulnerability, my energy, and access to my private world, these are sacred and they need to be protected. Here are some signs that you may be tapping into the power of saying less. I know I've found these things to be true. You stop arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop defending boundaries that are healthy. You stop feeling responsible for everyone's perception of you. You pause before emotionally reacting. You become more observant and less performative. You realize silence can reveal more truth than constant talking. And strangely enough, the less you try to prove yourself, the more powerful your presence becomes. The spiritual lesson in all of this is that there is power in stillness, there is power in silence, there is power in saying less. Nature teaches us this constantly. The moon doesn't explain its phases, and the ocean does not justify its depth, and the forest does not beg to be understood either. It simply is. The healing journey eventually asks us, can you stand in your truth without constantly defending it? Can you let people misunderstand you without abandoning yourself to correct them? Can you protect your peace without feeling guilty? That is a profound spiritual threshold. Here's some reflection prompts for you to put in your journals. First question is, where in my life do I over-explain myself? The second question is, What am I afraid will happen if I simply say less? The third question, who has earned access to my vulnerability? The fourth question, do I confuse constant explaining with connection? And there's one more question. What would protecting my peace look like right now? In closing, I'd like to say that not every battle deserves your defense or your voice. Not every misunderstanding deserves your energy. Sometimes healing sounds like fewer explanations, calmer responses, stronger boundaries, and quiet confidence. Because you already know who you are, you can stop auditioning for understanding. And that may be the real key to saying less. This is our episode for today. I hope you guys have been doing well. I've got another one lined up that I'll record here shortly. And so I'll be back in just a few more days. I've been trying to do 2 episodes and then put them out every 4 or 5 days if I can. So I'm trying to stick to that, but thanks for being patient with me. Welcome back to all my regular viewers, and welcome to any new viewers that I may have. Hey, give me a like, a comment, a share, or a subscribe. Let me know you're out there, and let's grow this channel. I got things to say. I'll try to say less as I'm doing it, but I definitely have things to say. Take good care, and I'll see you again very soon. Hey, I wish you peace, love, and light as always. Have a great day. And that's it for now.